Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today I'm back with an incredible unboxing. However, it's not one that I can confidently say you haven't seen before, except it's with all new items. If you followed along closely, we've got a really neat collection here that I'm going to continue to go through, but we got the first box, which was 3 separate videos of some incredible world coins, and the story there was that this was an old collection that was really stopped being put together in the early 1950s, and the person had long passed away. There were 3 of these boxes. The first one was sold to a local coin dealer for $800. The second one came into my possession probably 8 months ago, and the owners trusted me to go maximize the value. I was excited to get a really good consignment structure available at a premier auction house and run through a bunch of the items there, and they've realized at this point over $95,000. So I think that this is something super exciting. If you have a high-end coin collection, probably a good person to get in touch with. And I'm really excited to just unbox this again. Probably people don't care too much about the story, but we got the third and final box in front of us. I have no idea if this one is going to live up to the previous one. I saw some early photos, but we're going to take a closer look at the coins. And again, really thrilled to start. This one certainly looks good. 1710 Holy Roman Empire Thaler. On the other hand, this 1949 New Zealand crown, probably going to be a fraction of that value. But in this video, we're going to focus on this row. I'll maybe do some teasers as to Cuba 1936 peso. I'm not going to look. There's a William Netherlands 2.5 gulden, probably also not as wild. And then an Oldenburg 1905 mark. Maybe that's not too crazy. But then we get an Olmutz 1695 Thaler. So I think that the future videos are going to be exciting. But for now, let's, after the brief intermission, go through these items. There's a 1733 coin. That says 1799. I think that you'll be in for a treat. And it's important for me to just go through and verify, so we're going to be just taking a look at some of the beautiful items. This looks like it was purchased for 10 something back in the day. Again, a 1710 Thaler. Very nice looking surfaces on this one. Has seen a little bit of wear, and I believe the yo is going to say Archduke Joseph the First. I assume that that's Austria. I don't know what all of the lettering is. Maybe that means Tyrol, but then, okay, no, that's not yo, that's 1710. Anyways, again, treating these coins with a lot of care and excited to place them with collectors. This one I'm going to be dropping off early tomorrow, and I wanted to get quick turnaround. Carl the Sixth on this one. This one has really shiny and nice surfaces. Carolus so maybe also Charles would have been how they would have referred. 1721, another beautiful Thaler, great item. And this one, I'm always curious how you guys think these might grade. I still have to release the edited here's how they did. I also have to edit a full video of the previous group of coins where I basically go through showing the results. There was one coin that sold for $6,000 in there that I was really pleased about. Here we've got a 1780. There's a lot of modern restrikes. This one looks a little bit more, especially I know when the time that this was purchased. Now it could have been an old restrike version, but the 1780 Thaler not going to be as crazy of a date as some of the other ones, just given that there were so many restrikes. 1743 for Carolus the Seventh seems quite appealing. This one, the surfaces may have been cleaned a little bit. Again, it's not looking a gift horse in the mouth, just kind of showing what I see on the item. But I really like the elegant way that they included the date, and an interesting coin, definitely, to be excited about in this group. Francis the First 1763 Thaler. Many of these designs, I've maybe seen quickly, but haven't handled a lot of these types, and so very excited to do so. Germany, and again, a dealer, might be like, hey, this is a great group of coins, I'll pay you $30K for it, and they're going to make $70,000 at the end of the day, or at least on the previous batch, versus, I was really thrilled to just maximize the value for the last for the last group of coins, and I'm excited to continue to do that in this group. Here we've got a nice Joseph II taler, 1784, with beautiful, that reminds me of the Cronin talers, a lot of similar artistry, nice detail in the crowns and everything. So that's a great, additional pickup. On this one, Leopold II, a taler coin. Also similar, maybe a few lathe marks and a bit more wear. You can see a little bit more worn down in terms of the crowns, but very fun. And a lot of these coins individually would be a centerpiece or masterpiece or whatever you want to call it of a collection. And so to have a collection that's been assembled so long ago with a fair amount of spending power behind it. Here's an 1824 taler, and maybe a lot of these will have some similar types. I'm curious to see the reverse 1824G. This one has a more traditional, like Austrian double-headed eagle, which is a motif that continues on their coinage for a very long time. It's just awesome to see what that kind of collection can look like over time, and kind of inspiration if you start early. What you can assemble with a longer time horizon and prudently, waiting and purchasing interesting coins, they can really grow and develop over time. 1845 Austrian taler here of Ferdinand I. So it's always also a battle. A lot of these coins were probably pretty cheap back in the 50s. Today, they've grown and increased massively in value, but of picking ones that are going to do well, as opposed to, the key date nickel or Morgan dollar, and then a bunch of them get discovered in a bank hoard and they're not worth much. This has developed some rainbow toning from being in these slips for the last 70 or so years. 1879 Franz Joseph 2 Gulden, a really pretty item, maybe not as crazy in terms of the valuation, but really, really happy with the item. I'm curious if you have a sense for and want to comment down below the most valuable, what you think will get the most money at auction among this batch. Ooh, this one, okay, cost $12.50. Maybe that was pounds or something. Could have been euros or some other. No, it would not have been euros. That was established, I want to say, was that what, like 1998, and then commercially in 2001. This could have been like francs or some other, whatever, marked, probably not marked, but Naples and Sicily, Philip II, Italian half scudo, Philip Ang. I'm not exactly sure of all the lettering. Does not have a clear date on the item, but on the reverse, let's see what that says. Popular Securitate. That feels like it would be a popular item, but probably not at a super, super high. Often it's like the large planchet full taler. And this one also is a smaller Teston. Looks like from early Naples. Curious if this will cross the heritage like grading threshold. I feel like they try to get anything that's like $300 and up. And then here we have a Piastra from 1684. This feels, like a larger coin. Still has a lot of mint luster on it, and the reverse is beautiful. Love the globes. You can see a pretty good portrait of what looks like South America on there, unless they just maybe guessed the shape correctly. But unus non sufficit. Not exactly sure where valuation is, but of the items that we've seen so far, I could see this being a little bit higher up on the list. Beautiful item. I'm very pleased with it. I may have to go a little bit faster on some of these other ones. I don't want to bore you, but I just am so excited when I see a collection like this. 1702 50 Grani. Very fun. Also has a globe on it. Awesome. 1702 very clearly. And that makes me think they're more just guessing in terms of what the globe looks like, even though it does look pretty intricate. And that coin reminds me of some of the silver jettons from France in a similar time period. We also have 120 Grani, a larger item here, that may be, sparing us or not, showing us any pretty globe, but definitely a beautiful coin here. And I don't know if that's Utrecht, but Sicily, 120, very clearly 1733, and it's got a very pleasing worn look to it. So even though it's circulated, it has done so in an attractive way for the coin. 1753 Grani right here. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Jettins. I don't know if Utrecht is, if that's actually referring to the Dutch province, but some marks across there. Again, may not be in super high-end condition, but it's still really, really pretty. And it's a shame, I did feel like for this structure it would be best not to offer this, in my whatnot. If I have a really good website, I could aim to get some stuff over there. Here's a larger 120 Grani from Ferdinand the Fourth, and this one's worn as well. I think, at some stage I'll get this in, and maybe I'll be able to offer it direct to viewers and the immediate Treasure Town community. Here we have an 1808. Ooh, this one is in really pretty nice condition, though there's some marks on either side there. Maybe it was mounted somewhere, but it has still good luster. Joseph Napoleon, really, really pretty. 1808 Gallic. Yeah, wow. Tell me what you think. Really pretty in my opinion. And I think that is indicative of maybe having been, somebody tried putting an amount, but it's super pretty and the condition is great. I'm just not sure if that was straight grade or if that's how they come. Joachim Murat, that could be like a rare item, I'm not sure, just because Joachino Napoleone, because it should be still under Napoleon's reign. It's not 1814 yet. And some sort of Sicilian item. Curious on that one. It's in good condition. I could see it being like a limited reign. It also could just be a pretty commonly collected item. This one, I think I've sold several of these in the past in a similar condition. 1857 120 Grana. This one has a very nice look to it though. Probably not going to get graded. I would think that would get group lotted, but still a fun item. And then also a Francis II, which is not one I'm as familiar with. Maybe equally rare, but I haven't seen them before. I bought a small group of the other ones in the past, and I really like how the overall luster looks and the general planchet. Here we've got a Bologna Scudo from 1797. I'm not exactly sure where this would be coming from. Has some nice toning on it and an interesting, what I would assume is a Virgin Mary with Christ portrait on the front of it, but also has nice toning, and I love how detailed the artistry on the clouds is. So great coin. 1797. I could see that being an outside candidate for one of the high value coins here. We've also got a Modena Rinaldo 1701 item, and let's see, or does that say 1601, or is it a 160 Scudo? I'm not sure. Let's see, on this side, that clearly says 1701, it seems like. I'm not sure. Reinaldus. Huh. Interesting. Pretty worn, but hopefully a rare item. Some kind of a rarity from Modena. And then a Venetian ducat. Assuming that this one's going to be silver, and it is. Has some sort of a Christian scene there. You see the cross prominently. And then the line of St. Mark on the reverse. Ducatus Venetus. Wow. Super, super fun item. That's a great selection. And man, I'm super excited that we got this extra box. Plus, in the coming weeks, I'll do the other items as well. So another St. Mark line of St. Mark Venetian themed 5 lire from the provincial government of Venice. I wonder if that's like a tougher issue, because I haven't seen that one either. And we've also got a Sardinian group of coins here. This one's from 1701 with an interesting... I kind of want to see what the flip says, or the collector's ticket, I should say. Though it may be, stuck in some way to the flip. Let's see. All right, that's pretty cool. 10 maybe pounds. An old collector's ticket, Victor from, you know, Sardinian makes me think it's like maybe a German or Austrian, you know, source that these were purchased from, but I believe that these were purchased from in-person travel to Europe at that time. So again, really, really fascinating. 1791 Sardinia coin. The one after it looks to actually be even earlier, 1765 Charles Emmanuel. And dang, that's pretty. With good original surfaces. At least I would call them original surfaces. Maybe they're not, but they look really pretty to me. And you know, it looks gray, but then when you put it under the light, you see that it's really pretty. And I don't think that they like need to conserve these items. I think the natural state that they're in is a great place to have them. 1799, also a very beautiful coin, half scudo, Charles Emmanuel IV. Just an incredible amount of preservation and work went into this, the building of this collection. Here's an 1820, ooh, with a beautiful blue tone, blue hues. Fantastic. That seems like a gorgeous item to offer. Really, really wowed by that one. Impressive. And then right here, Charles Felix 5 lire. Also seems like a maybe somewhat limited issue, but it's a bit more worn. No idea in terms of value, but some interesting provincial, like you know, Italy was also a bunch of sort of city-states similar to how a lot of these other areas were. So it's not like they were producing one Italian coinage, and as a result, we get a wider variety of coins that tell their history. That one from Charles Albert. This next one is much more commonly seen. A Victor Emmanuel. Have definitely sold these in the past. Nice 5 lire item, as well as an Umberto the First, and that looks like a Victor Emmanuel. You know, these are probably not as, especially in this condition, as being, you know, really nice, but I think Heritage is probably looking to individually sell coins that are like 200, 300 or more, as opposed to, you know, like a $75 coin, which is, you know, when I think about coins to put in my collection, $75 is actually kind of expensive. This is interesting that this coin, I don't know if it's rare. I feel like I've seen some similar ones of it, but is relatively worn from 1928 compared to some of the better condition older ones. Maybe it was like a, you know, I got this in my change and I'm just going to hang on to it. This one's exciting. 1812 Napoleon 5 lire. Let's see. Condition looks pretty solid on it. I'm not familiar with how expensive they get in terms of ranging up by condition, but that one looks to be in quite nice shape, and you know, that's a really fun historic coin, I should say. And I hope that I haven't been saying too much in this video. I remember that I said it a bit too much the last time I unboxed this, or the previous box. This one has certainly been clean, but it's a 1741 Lucan, which is an Italian republic that I remember purchasing Carolingian Empire coins of, and you've probably heard the dinar, you know, the Crusader states money that I've offered in some of my auctions. Then we also have an Eliza and Felix 5 francs. That seems like it could be a cool one. I just have a gut feeling about it, and only time will tell, but has a very classically French look to it, and I'm not just saying that because it's a 5 Franchi, but I wonder if this is at the time, you know, if Napoleon's getting involved here or not. Really pretty hints of a lot of luster and such an original, cool collection. Parma Odoardo. Wow. Very, very nice. Also going to be a Scudo, pretty large coin. S. Antoninus. Unfortunate, a little bit of graffiti. You have to watch out when you're purchasing coins. That's probably going to hold it back and cause it to be a details grade. Or, you know, they may just sell it raw, but very unfortunate. 1687 Teston. Ooh, in nice shape. Especially on that reverse. I'm not sure who's riding on the horse there. You know, exactly what that portrait is of, but Rhinucius, great coin. Ferdinand, 1796 Another Scudo is a beautiful one in pretty solid shape. And the unfortunate thing is that I don't always have a ton of commentary on all these items. 1815 Maria Luisa 5 Lear is a great one, but, you know, again, with some nice edge lettering and a very classically Italian reverse. I like the 5 Lear. I like the state of preservation. I don't want to give the same commentary on everything. I know there were actually people recently in my Discord talking about the Subalpine Republic 5 francs long. That means like 10 years after the revolution. Liberté, égalité. And then I don't know what Eredania means, but there's no fraternity. Gaul, France, the Subalpine France. Fascinating. Very pretty coin. I'm not sure if that triangle is meant to be there or got scratched into it or how it got there. And then, oh yeah, this says, I don't know if Munzenhandlung Wilhelm Trinks, Wien. That's Vienna, Austria. Looks to be some part of an auction. Sold for about 12. If anybody has information on that auction house, I would be curious. 1848 Lombardy 5 Lear. Ooh, take a look at that. That's a really, really pretty coin. Flashy, and I haven't seen it before. It even has some, like, you know, I hope that that's not cleaning and that's just natural, but that also might be like an old brushing. I don't think that that's the case, because the luster looks to me pretty uninterrupted, but also I can see those lines there. Concerning. It's a really pretty item. I hope that would be a great case study on why not. And there is a rim neck there, but I don't think that would hold it back from a straight grade if that was the only thing going on with it. Here's also a Cisalpine, which I don't know if that's different from the Subalpine Republic. Around that time period, Scudo, Anno 8. So that does seem to be maybe a French-Italian, like, border situation. I would venture a guess that that could be also a more expensive coin in the batch that we are opening. And then here's a Mecklenburg Thaler from 1540, also from that source. Mundshandlung. Very nice looking item. And it reminds me of the Johann Thaler that ended up being a $6,000 coin. Or I don't know if it was 6,000, maybe it was like 3,500 or 4,000. And then we've also got this one. That's a really funny looking, okay, no, it's not a funny looking head. I can see it now more clearly. Of Adolf Friedrich, 1613. Just incredible. And, you know, this batch of coins I basically had arrive at like 10 p.m. I'm now doing the video. I'll do all the videos back to back so that I can make it drive and drop this thing off within 12 hours of receipt. Here's a Christian Ludovicus, 1678. Mecklenburg Schwerin from Christian Ludwig or Christ Ludwig. I assume that that's Christian Ludwig, and they're just making an abbreviation for brevity's sake on the flips. Also, you know, just a really fun item. 2/3 or 1 golden. I bet that's 2/3 of a Thaler. I should know how all the monetary system interlinks, but it's interesting because most of the items that I'm trading now probably average like 40 to 50 bucks a coin. And so when I get into a higher range, I often know a little bit less about the items. Here's a Mecklenburg Schwerin Friedrich 32 shilling. Let's see if we can see the 32 on. Oh yeah, super obvious. 32 shilling Courant, Mecklenburg Schwerin, Munze. Munze is mint. So, I hope in case you were not aware, 1808 golden. Also just a super fun, and the collector flip fell out with a beautiful 2/3 all across the reverse. This one's also from, let's see if there's any more collector info. There is not. But back into the flip, this one will go. Love the old pen writing on it. We've got an 1839 golden before we get to an 1864 taler. And this one also has some luster, but 1839. Curious if this one will be a grading candidate. I could see it kind of being on the border. There's a lot from Mecklenburg-Schwerin. I also see a medal in the back of it, which could be pretty interesting. I'm not sure if it's a rarer. I mean, it's definitely it's a taler from 1864, but I'm curious how relatively rare these items are again, and that's why, you know, if it was stuff I dealt with all the time, I'd be comfortable selling it all myself. In this case, I thought it would be best to pass it along. That's a really nice condition medal. I hope that this thing is super rare. It would be a big benefit to the consigner, but imagine thinking that you might have, hey, $10,000 of coins sitting around, 5,000. I got 800 for the last batch, and then the second batch gets you 100,000 when it's properly treated, and you still have one left. And so I was excited to hopefully be a part, and I am going to be a part of the remainder of it. Beautiful 5-mark coin here. I think that this one should get graded unless there is determined that there's like some sort of a cleaning on it. But beautiful Friedrich Franz, the 4th 5-mark item. Nice coin. Looks like we've got in Mexico Hidalgo 1953. 5 pesos. I think this one will certainly either I'll sell it or it'll get group lotted, but has some good luster on there. We've also got a Charles and Joanna 4 reals. Pretty early item. Actually, I haven't seen this type before, so hopefully it's it's certainly an older one where I could see it being quite popular. Nice older Mexican item. So I didn't know that that was also, it feels more Spanish, but we've got a Philip 4 reals from Mexico with nice detail all across the item. Cob coinage is another one where I'm like, man, there's so much out there that I don't know. I feel like I know a lot about some stuff, and other stuff you know, it's fun in coins because there's never a dull moment. But a nice Philip 8 reals, like the shipwreck coins are just sweet. Here's a 1777 8 reals. Nice pillar type. Beautiful, very nice. Of Carlos Charles. And here's an 1804. You know, these are more in my wheelhouse. This one's in not particularly nice condition. And let's see what the mint is. Mexico City mint. So unless that, you know, I sold an 1804 the other day and it wasn't super expensive. But again, this is not criticizing this group. It's just giving some context as I see it. This is a nicer one. 1840 pillar, 8 reals. Again, I don't think it's like anything too off the beaten path, but a great example of a very well-known coin. The 8 reals circulated a lot in the United States. They'd often get cut up, but they were very popular, and you know, it's got a bunch of old history wrapped up in something that's like a Spanish, you know, shipwreck, colonial, really, really interesting item. 1759 for the last one. So just a thrilling start to this last batch. I'm really pleased with the ability to, you know, handle these items, get the max prices that I can for them, and do so in a way that I'm really comfortable with. You know, there's very few people that are sort of looking to provide this, from what I can tell, and so we're going to have a great outcome. Stay tuned for part 2 and part 3 in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.